Good morning, one and all present here. I, Rikin Kokta, Student Manager of Balaji Institute of Modern Management, welcome you all on behalf of Sri Balaji Society. I am here to give you a brief introduction about Mr. Dilip Mishra. Mr. Dilip Mishra background spans over 25 years of demonstrated achievement in the human resources, organization learning and development, and strategic planning arenas. Sir currently serves as President and Head Corporate Human Resources with JK Organization. Sir has a reputation for creating and implementing sustainable business solutions, improving technology, leadership, team and organizational capabilities. Sir's prior experience includes leadership assignments with several leading-edge companies. Sir has also worked in close association with leading consulting houses like Hewitt, Gallup and McKinsey. Sir is an ICF certified acclaimed executive coach. He has to his credit coached many senior leaders, functional heads of reputed organizations across the world. Champion the development of human resource strategy, leadership and talent management, change management, learning, organization development, culture alignment, mergers and acquisition arenas. Sir is a graduate engineer with MBA. He is a reputed speaker, coach and an acclaimed TA trainer. Sir has been invited to speak at many international events at Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, USA, UK, Italy, etc. Sir is a past chapter president and life member of National HRD Network India. He is actively associated with SHRM, Conference Board, International Coach Federation, and is on the governing board of Management Institutes. Sir's deep understanding of business, technology, people and process has helped him in developing effective human resource strategies for the organizations. Sir was felicitated as Super Achiever in 2003 and received Best Leader of the Year award in 2004. Sir is a nature-loving person and fond of traveling to new places, interacting with people, participating in social and outdoor activities. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here today. The podium is all yours.
So, namaskar. I think Sri Bala Subramaniam, all the distinguished guests of related to Balaji Society, ladies, gentlemen, and all the future leaders of the nation. I can see the leaders who are today been sitting here all across and totally jam-packed stadium here. They are the future leaders, and you don't know, many of you will be leading many companies and maybe heading some of the business organizations tomorrow. Having said that, and today's topic, which even Mr. Kush has been really explained to you about the business challenges, I will a little take you to a different, totally different field itself. There are challenges definitely when it comes to business, yes, but I really segregate them into two parts. One is the challenge which we can predict, we can foresee, and the challenge which sometimes with the course of time evolve and which can be predictable. And there are challenges which we as an industry or even economics, anybody cannot predict. The challenges which we can really foresee, the challenges which can really predict, we can find a solution for that. And probably many good organizations really get ready and for the tomorrow to face those challenges. But what happens when we get some unpredictable challenges? I will name them as business uncertainties. Let me give you an example of the economic downturn which happened 2 years back, where total economy of the world was totally shattered. Nobody has predicted those things. And it is uncertainty, definitely. And how really as in business, how really as an HR profession, we really face those challenges. Suddenly you will find when this kind of a challenges came, you found that there is scarcity of talent before that, and suddenly there was a surplus of talents in the industry. Till this economic downturn came, the countries like US, Europe, everybody was hiring a lot of talents from the developing countries like India, China, and some Asia Pacific countries. And people were quite happy to work there. And all of a sudden, there was a surplus of talent, and they had to come back. They had been given pink slips. How to really face these challenges? This is the biggest challenge when it comes to HR, when it comes to business. Do you ever feel these people who had come back from US after these happenings or after these uncertainties which has happened everywhere, will ever think of going back to those countries and working again? Or even for that matter, if any company, whether it is in US, Europe, or even in India also, if any company has fired such employees, will those employees will go back again to work on those companies? When there is a good times of those companies will come and it's a just business downturn, when the business will again start growing, will those talents will go back and work in such companies again? And the reputation of such companies will take a long time to again get revived. So what actually as a business or as an organization, what the organization should do for that? These are the growing challenges before the business. And let me tell you, this kind of uncertainties are going to be there tomorrow also. And as a business, as a professional, whether you are in finance or you are in marketing or you are in HR, you have to really get prepared for such challenges, business challenges. And that's not going to only impact the business, but that's going to impact the whole world. It's going to impact your professional life. It's going to impact your personal life also. So, to face these challenges. Still companies are wondering what to do and how to face and how to really come up with some solution for this kind of a challenge. This is one of challenges what I was explaining you. So few days back I was talking to Professor Ramcharan. I think you must be knowing Professor Ramcharan. Okay? So I was talking to Professor Ramcharan about these uncertainties. And in fact, we are hiring Ramcharan in our organizations to really take us and show us the path how the organization, as an organization, tomorrow with this kind of uncertainties, we can really build up strategy to face these kind of uncertainties. So they are the business thinkers. These people, they have been seen many organizations, and while talking it has come out. Let me tell you one thing, especially when it comes to HR, we all know how we really develop succession planning in the HR function, how we develop the leaders in the HR function. We really develop the number 2, we prepare them, we send them for training, we give them all kind of inputs to get ready so that when the number 1 position retire or go out, so eventually this person will take up the position. Isn't it? But with this kind of uncertainties, there is no surety that tomorrow whether this position will be there or not in the organization. First thing. Because with this kind of uncertainties, your business model get changed. And when your business model get changed, your positions get changed. Your structure get changed. So, as in business, as in organizations, we don't know whether tomorrow this position will be there or not. And we are not sure whether this talent or this person will be there in the organization or not. So, to whom we are developing for, and for what we are developing. So this is also a biggest challenge. See, let me tell you, many, not many, but few organizations has come up. And at JK we have also developed a model that we will not go for those kind of traditional succession planning methodology. Because when you are not sure of the position, you are not sure of the person, so investing heavily on people and efforts heavily on them will not be a right gesture to the organization or to the business. So what we have planned is to develop a pool of leadership pool who eventually in the organization, wherever there is a vacancy, the leaders from the leadership pool will go back and fill up those positions. But what are the challenges on such things? Yes, there are challenges. The challenges are when it comes to meeting the skills, when it comes to meeting the competencies of the positions, there may not be a 100% fit, or there may not be a match. Yes, but we always try to have a close fit. So if you have a pool of leaders with right attitude, so you can have a close fit with a position. And you can bridge the gap with immediately giving them about some of the training. We have to really understand the business challenges of tomorrow. If we don't understand the business challenge, probably we will not able to do any kind of a innovative practices in the organizations. And when it comes to innovations, most of us think that the Kaizen methodology of innovations, so incremental innovations. Yes, when I don't negate those incremental innovations, but in today's context, when there are so much of uncertainties in the business and there are huge competitions in the business, how to really keep yourself abreast or how to really keep yourself ahead of your competitors. And these incremental innovations will not help you. You have to have a game-changing innovations. And how you can have a game-changing innovations? And game-changing innovation is just think something out of the world. something which nobody has imagined. And unless you come out with such kind of a innovation, whether it is in terms of your practices, whether in terms of your developing a new product, or in terms of even some innovative process, it will not really take you far ahead when it comes to your competitors. And unless you are ahead of your competitors, probably you not get the competitive advantage in the business. So I'm just driving you that, giving you these examples to really think that what kind of challenges will be there when you will be sitting on the driver's seat tomorrow in any of the organizations and trying to really lead the organizations to its achieving the goal. You have to be mentally prepared for such kind of challenges. Let me tell you, just yesterday while coming from Delhi to Pune, I was having a young student like you sitting next to me, and I was just trying to understand what is this Generation Y is thinking of tomorrow. Somebody asked the question of Generation Y. So I was thinking what this Generation Y is thinking of tomorrow. But let me tell you, when I was trying to understand, though they are mentally prepared to take up the challenges tomorrow, but certainly they don't have any kind of imagination of what could be the challenges are. They've never thought of whether they will have any challenges at all. Most of them have been driven by so-called the book knowledge which has been given to us. It's fine. It's your grounding of in the function. You need to understand those things. But having understood those things, you need to have also the reality of tomorrow, what is you are going to face when it comes to the challenges, business challenges. I'll drive you towards what kind of a business, what kind of HR practices or what kind of things we do when it comes to JK. And probably many of you doesn't know what, you must be hearing the name called JK Group, but JK organization, but I'm sure most of you doesn't know what JK have the people practices or what JK is all about. Many of you may not be knowing about even the product line of the JK, because we have been quite a media shy organization, and you will not be having also any kind of knowledge, whether it comes to internet or anything about the JK, except I think JK Tire and some of one or two organizations you must be knowing about. Yeah, only few businesses. Yeah. See, let me tell you, most of our businesses have the best place to work title. And like Mr. Kush was telling, this JK is also a 100+ years of organization. And we have 9 businesses. And it's all diversified business. I think it comes with tires, it comes with paper, it comes with cement, it comes with auto spare parts like Fenner. It's a group company of ours. And it comes with agri business. We are into also insurance, and we are also into sugar, we are also into the dairy products and all. It's a $4 billion organization, and not only concentrating in India but also outside the country. We have units also in Mexico, and we are in the process of acquiring some units in Vietnam and also in China. And this group, we heavily invest on the people, especially when it comes to the talent development areas. Why many organizations? None of the Indian organizations have screening of the talent at the top level when it comes to recruitment. So we have a process called the assessment center, and that's only for the top level people. That's in the CEO level and the president level, all those kind of level of people, where while hiring them, they have to undergo a rigor of 1 day full assessment to ensure, like Mr. Kush told you, just to ensure that it's a right fit with the organization, nothing to do with your talent. It's just to ensure that you have a right fit with the organization. Let me tell you the kind of challenges we face also in that. Many of the CEOs in India, they have never thought that this kind of a screening test will be there for them. Initially, they totally say no, we don't want it to really go through that. And when we explain them and we make them understand what the process is all about, and they happily agree and come and appear for the test. Yesterday, just before coming here, I was just interacting with one of the candidates for the CEO, and when I was explaining him, and he was an NRI, let me tell you, and we're working with a multi-million-dollar company in India itself. While talking to him, he was so impressed with the testing methodology that he said, okay, I don't mind staying down for 1 day more here, but I have to really clear the assessment and go back, because whether you really select me or not, that's immaterial, but it will give me an input to understand which are the areas I need to improve. And why we do such kind of thing is we wanted to really screen the talent from the beginning itself, so that the talent pool which we are building, the leadership pool which you are building, will have a close fit when it comes to the succession planning tomorrow in the organization. When it comes to the leadership, we have 3 kind of a leadership layers. One is the emerging leaders, then the business leaders, and the top leaders. And having identified these all identification of leadership talents, we call them talents. So when we identify the talents, everyone goes through a rigor of assessment center. Plus, you have many other tools we use, the 360-degree feedback, their performance and everything. And every single employee always try to be in the talent list. And it doesn't guarantee you that once you are in the talent list, you will be there forever. And we keep on rotating the talents inside the business and across the business. That gives you a totally feel about the different functions. It will give you a feel about the different challenges in the function, because we strongly believe when you grow up, you need to have an overall picture of all the functions of an organization, so that it will be more effective and you will be more efficient to handle the business. That when it comes to the development plan, we send each of these talents based on what category of the talent list they are to different business schools. It includes in India and also to abroad. And it's a totally customized programs. When we do it with IIMs, these programs, we customize those programs to suit our need. And it's start from something like 7 days to 1 month to 2 months and all. Besides those kind of challenges, it's very difficult even to retain those talents. And you know what kind of a retention strategy across the organizations they are following. But let me tell you, the kind of attrition rate we have faced so far is we are very comfortable with. It's below, much below the industry average. And the people who are coming to the organizations and our talents, they really see a future for them as a CEO of the organization. And many of our people have been CEO coming from the bottom and be the CEO in the organizations. If you are really prepared for the challenges, in the business challenges of tomorrow, and that's how what we do when it comes to 9 businesses, I think there won't be many examples in the industries. What we do is we have intercompany conferences when it comes to the function-wise. See, we conduct our own HR conference, we conduct our own marketing conference, we conduct our own operational or manufacturing excellence conferences just to propagate the best practices elsewhere. And we call best to best speakers outside and say that, okay, these are the best practices, how it can be implementable in the organization or in the businesses. We have the business leaders, the emerging leaders who take up the mantle of implementing those ideas or those innovations in their own businesses. We do competitions in the businesses with amongst these business leaders, amongst these emerging leaders, and these competitions we coined it as UDAN. And there are teams like 180, 200 teams every year. They compete with many innovation ideas, and coined with many ideas to implement in the businesses. It doesn't stop only giving the ideas, but you have to implement those ideas in the businesses. And while competing in the UDAN competitions, the best get an award of, we call it Chairman's UDAN Competitions Award, and it has been given. And people get, the young talents like you, they get motivated. The young talents like you, they have an opportunity to implement, not only give suggestions of some new ideas, but to implement them in the organization itself is a good feel for them. For me, when it comes to the HR, let me tell you, I'm not a hardcore HR professional. I came out from like industrial engineering background and then migrated into the HR. But for me, HR is business enabler. It is nothing to do with just not the traditional way of patting on the back of the employees. You need to mean where the money is coming from. You need to understand what is the EBITDA. You need to understand what is the top line, bottom line, and how you can generate profit for your business. And if you don't understand being a HR person, probably you will not be able to devise the right kind of a strategy for your business. In HR, we also rotate people to the different functions, like we send them even to operations, we send them even to marketing. We have even marketing people coming into HR working. So unless that kind of cross-functional exchanges happens in the organizations, probably you will not have the best people, especially when it comes to your function, whether it is HR, whether it is marketing, whether it is finance. You will not have the best people in your organization who can contribute and develop the right strategy for your function. And I see that, and I strongly recommend the young people especially, who normally get attracted with the salaries the organizations pay, and we go there and start working with the organizations which pay the highest. We start working with the organizations and change the organizations for higher salaries and all. But it's a strong belief that if you have the capability, if you have the talent, and the money will really be running after you, not you running after the money. And you need to have really invest a lot of effort. You need to have invest on building your capability, building your skills, so that tomorrow the really money comes after you, not you running after the money. And people who have invested on themselves, they are the industry leaders of tomorrow. You will be astonished that some of the competencies which we have identified in our group, one of them is learnability. Because we strongly believe that if you don't have the learnability, probably it will not take you far. Because if you don't read books, if you don't learn from outside world or don't learn from others' experiences, probably you will not able to come out with new ideas. So learnability is one of the major competencies when it comes to the leadership competencies in the group. Fire in the belly. That's also very uncommon competencies. So we just see what is really required. If a person doesn't have a fire and belly, if he doesn't have really passion for doing something, probably he will not able to shine in his own career or in his own function. And the leader of tomorrow should have a passion for doing in whichever area he is. And tomorrow's business challenges, again I am telling you, is unpredictable. And you need to really start thinking today itself what different way you can do in your own areas. What different way you can really do it. And if you can really come out with something of doing it in a very different way, and that will only bring you success in your areas. And regarding that all other HR practices and all, I think you all know the best. I don't wanted to really tell you, and I don't wanted to really repeat those kind of things when it comes to the challenges. When it comes to the challenges of tomorrow, I can only tell you these are the major challenges, and why these challenges are coming and how to really face these challenges is you to think of. And how the industries are really stepping up today is, I told you, they are really start thinking how to really face these kind of a challenges. This is very uncommon, I'm telling you. So having said that, I will close my speech with these things, and I'll wait for your questions, because that will be a better way of interacting with you. Any questions?